Hola, buenos días, soy Nico.
It's unfortunate that people can change something that was just pure innocent fun into drama.
And today we are here to end off another wonderful week's worth of content. But this time we're actually going to be talking about the white girlies. Nico, it's been a good minute since I've talked about, the white gay performers, but we are here to talk about Cliff Jensen and Spikey Dee. But before we get into that, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive videos, weekly lives, to be a part of the live streams where we have a multifaceted community conversation based around multiple topics throughout the weeks. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. If you want to party with Nico, make sure to check out my Instagram, where I also promote events happening in the New York City area. So if you like good music, good drinks, and fine men, definitely tune in. I think I'm done plugging. I'll do a little B-roll because I have to actually promote a party that I'm doing, which is like a throwback party, but I don't have the flyer with me on it, so ad roll Nico will handle it. Hey, editing and ad roll Nico. So essentially this is going to be a throwback Thursday, old school versus new school kind of party, no cover, and it's in Harlem. A lot of the girlies live in Harlem and I'm out here in Brooklyn, so I usually have to travel. But I remember I was hosting the speed dating event at this spot, which is called the Brunch Spot. And I went inside and the music was good, girl. They was playing Mariah Carey. I'm a big lamb if you did not know that. Mariah Carey, Destiny's Child, Janet Jackson, like they were playing true old school vibes and I really enjoyed it. So when they asked me to come back and host a Throwback Thursday, I figured why not? There's no cover. Once again, no cover. Good food, good liquor, good music, and it's a really cute spot/venue. So if you're in Harlem and you want to just vibe out to some old school music, have a good drink, and enjoy a good meal, come check it out on May 2nd. I will be there, and I'll keep promoting it because I actually do really enjoy this vibe. Nico, I enjoy every vibe at the parties that I'm at because I like to have fun. But old school music with just a grown-up vibe where you can dance and enjoy yourself, that's more my speed, if I'm being quite honest. So if that interests you, definitely come check it out. We are here to discuss Cliff Jensen and Spikey Dee. Nico, who is Cliff Jensen? He's actually one of the... I have another energy drink because after this I'm going to the gym. Cliff Jensen is actually a performer that has been in the game for at least a decade. He's been like in studio performing. He's been on OnlyFans. So I remember him back from like the men.com days, and I don't even seriously watch those videos. Nico, why don't you? You know why? But I do recognize him as one of a household name in gay adult cinematography. Spikey Dee, I'm assuming that he is an OnlyFans content creator. I do not know him personally, but the story is basically that Cliff Jensen, he travels around and he actively performs, but like me, he's one of the performers that actively gets tested and encourages other people to get tested before you actually film with someone, and to get tested after you film with someone, because he says he gets tested every 14 days and it's automatically uploaded to talenttesting.com. Nico, what is talent testing? If you are actually in LA, if you are in the actual studio scene, talent testing is essentially a testing process for adult cinematographers where your test results are immediately uploaded to a database for production and companies to actually check out and scope out that you're in the clear before you start filming. I don't know, I wanted to give y'all some ASMR. But yeah, so Cliff Jensen essentially wanted to work with Spikey Dee while he was on the road doing his normal collabs. And as per usual, he makes everybody send in their test results. And in this process, Spikey Dee sent a screenshot of his test results from talenttesting.com, which had not been updated for over a month. And he had been filming in between that. So after filming a few days later, Cliff Jensen then begins to see symptoms of STDs and or STIs. He didn't specify which one it was, but he says the symptoms have started to show, and now he has to go on an apology tour, basically explaining what happened to all the people that he filmed with while he was traveling, because everyone else sent in proper test results. Spikey, after he sat down and looked at the screenshot he sent, he saw that it was over a month old and expired. The reason he said that he was not able to actually verify the screenshot when he got it was because he was driving to the location while it was sent over. Now, after this, I would have just left it at that because this is clear cut. We had this conversation. You sent me an expired test result. That's it. But the situation got messy when Spikey's roommate tried to join in, trying to defend his friend, basically saying, I went through all the DMs and I went through all the text messages and you didn't even ask for the test results. You didn't ask to be sent anything. And you said you were already on the way when you got that screenshot off the website. And Cliff Jensen basically had to come back and say, I don't understand why you're trying to be obtuse. If he sent over a screenshot, even if I didn't ask for an up-to-date test, clearly you sending me a screenshot that was cleared by the talent testing website is you saying that you're ready to film. And then he was met back with his roommate Hattler saying, okay, well, an expired test result versus a fresh test result with somebody who's actively filming, that's just as dangerous in my opinion. And Cliff Jensen had to tell him, just because I'm actively filming does not mean that I am a greater risk if I am constantly making sure I get the test results of my scene partners before we actively film. And this time it was a hiccup because somebody actively lied about their test results by using an old image. Withholding information and not actively getting tested, but sending me a screenshot that is over a month old of your last test results, that is a blatant lie. That is basically just trying to get over on me so that you can film with me. And Spikey eventually came back and retorted. Unfortunately, I know this doesn't usually happen to me. He deleted the tweet before I could get to it, but I saw Jensen's response where he was basically saying, you know this is bullshit because I actively get tested every 14 days and it's uploaded to talent testing to keep me up to date. So there's no reason I would sit up here and lie. And then Spikey finally came back and said, I do apologize for the miscommunication because this is all stemming from what seems like an error in the information that we swapped. And it was not my intent to harm you or disrupt your schedule because now Jensen said I have to clear over a month's worth of filming because you messed with me, because you sent me an old expired screenshot. And Spikey apologized and finally admitted that he was in the wrong. But I find it funny that him and his friend vehemently tried to say it's your fault and you're at more risk filming more often than I am. Even if I sent you an old screenshot and even if I did give you an STD and or STI, you're the one that should be watched more closely. And in my personal opinion, I'm one of those performers. I don't film often. I film maybe like once a month because I gotta find somebody that I actually enjoy and I have chemistry with. I'm not one of those people that's like, I'm pumping out content just to pump out content. And one thing some of my subscribers have told me, I really appreciate you guys. They're like, sometimes it does annoy me that you aren't pumping out content constantly on here, but I do appreciate that when you do, it is of a good quality. It is of a good quality because I'm not going to just pump out some trash for you. But at the same time, I get tested every time I have a new scene partner. And I also am on prep, so I have to get tested every 3 months at the bare minimum. So whenever we have these conversations, I always tell y'all need to screen your partners if you're not going to be using protection, and you need to make sure that you have their information if something does pop up so that you can warn them and or the people you've been in contact with. So in my opinion, Cliff Jensen was being a professional. He was checking all of the boxes. He was telling everybody before we film, I want you to send me your updated test results. We'll fit it in. Boom, bam, boom, bam. I'm getting tested frequently. You're getting tested. We should all be in the clear. But there was a hiccup because somebody lied. And that's actually what I want to say to a lot of y'all before we close this out, is that especially if we use HIV as an example. I don't know if that was the STD and or STI he caught. But HIV, whenever it's discussed about transmission, people like to say it's due to promiscuity, when in reality, a lot of cases are from lying about test results, lying about infidelity. Like I told y'all beforehand, I know someone personally who contracted HIV because a condom broke when he was having super happy adult fun time with his boyfriend, and he didn't know that his boyfriend was cheating on him throughout the relationship. So in theory, this story is just a warning to everyone involved, because you can check all the boxes. You can make sure that you're doing everything in your power to protect your body from bodily harm, and all it takes is for somebody to lie about a situation. All it takes is for one hiccup because somebody else withheld information from you. But yes, definitely drop your opinions down below. How do you feel about this situation where Spikey and his roommate basically doubled down on it's your fault because you're filming more often, even though Spikey eventually admitted that he was in the wrong? How do you feel about Cliff Jensen, who checked all the boxes and was still lied to and ended up contracting STI? I definitely want to hear your opinions down below, and I will see you guys next time. Boop. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, Ronell, A.W., and Thomas. Your continued support is greatly appreciated, and thank you once again to everyone who supports the channel. Unfortunately, this week's live stream will be canceled because I will be hosting the Throwback Thursday event out in Harlem. Once again, if you're in the New York City area and that interests you, definitely tune in, and I'm sorry once again to my Patreon family.